Music with a tense, atmospheric, and urgent feel begins and then fades to the background.
The first thing you notice, it's not what you'd expect. It's not the clash of steel or the shouts of soldiers, no. It's this awful grating sound, a scraping, a metallic groan that just echoes across the desert floor. Out here, in this insane heat, under a sun that just beats down on you, that's the sound. It's the sound of an army, thousands of men, literally chaining themselves together. It tells you one thing and one thing only. They have no intention of retreating. None.
Look, if you want to understand what's really happening here, what's about to unfold, you have to get to the why. Because this isn't just another army. No way. They are driven by this one single purpose, something taught to them by the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. Every single step they take, every sacrifice they make, it's all about fulfilling this divine trust. And that gives them a focus that is, well, it's unwavering. It's almost terrifying, to be honest.
Okay, let's break this down from a strategic perspective. We need to be crystal clear about the objective. This isn't a mission of conquest, for land or for wealth. The core instruction, the ultimate aim, is to spread the message of Allah. So what does that mean in military terms? It means their number one objective is to remove the tyrants, to knock down any barrier that's stopping people from hearing that message.
And this protocol really shows you their method of operations. Before any fighting starts, they present 3 clear choices. This was the standard set by the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. And the call is incredibly direct. There's no ambiguity. Option 1, you can enter Islam and you become our brothers. Option 2, you can keep your own religion, no problem, and pay the jizya. Or option 3, you reject both. And if you do that, well, then the conflict begins.
Now the key factor in all of this, and you can't overstate it, is morale. Their morale is simply unbreakable. But don't mistake this for arrogance or just being overconfident. It's not that. It's a deep, profound certainty, a conviction that they're fighting for the truth and that victory has already been promised to them by Allah and His Messenger.
And this is what fuels that resolve, this divine promise. To them, this verse isn't just a collection of words. It's the very source of what they call true faith. It's what gives them that absolute certainty to march against armies that are way, way bigger than them, to stare down what looks like impossible odds, and just know, deep down in their bones, that they're going to win.
All right, let's pivot to pure strategy now. The Caliph, Abu Bakr, he pinpointed the absolute heart of this entire campaign, a place called al-Heerah. So why al-Heerah? Simple, it's a strategic crossroads, a linchpin. He knew that if you control al-Heerah, you control the main artery right into Iraq. It was the key to the whole thing.
And here's where you see the sheer brilliance of the plan. Abu Bakr lays out this classic pincer movement, a 2-pronged attack designed to completely outflank and overwhelm the Persian forces. Okay, check this out. The first army, led by Khalid ibn al-Walid, is going to attack from the southwest. At the exact same time, the second army, under Iyad ibn Ghanam, hits from the northwest. And where do they meet? Right at the prize itself, al-Heerah.
But what's so fascinating is that this brilliant, audacious military plan has an equally powerful moral code holding it up. These were the direct orders from Caliph Abu Bakr himself to his commanders. You will not force anyone. No coercion. Fighting for them was completely voluntary. See, he wasn't building an army of conscripts. He was building an army of believers.
Okay, back on the ground. The sun, it feels like a hammer just pounding down. The Persians, they got to the water first, and they blocked the wells. Suddenly, the enemy isn't just the army in front of you. It's your own body, screaming for a single drop of water. The dust in your throat, the heat, this agonizing thirst. This is a fight before the first sword is even drawn.
And then you see them. It's just a solid wall of men. We're talking tens of thousands. And they are literally chained to each other, ankle to ankle. It's a human fortress. They've made it impossible for themselves to retreat. The message couldn't be clearer. They are going to stand here, and they are going to die here. And that sound, that awful grinding of the chains, it's just deafening now.
The lines hit. A crash of steel. The roar of men. It's brutal. Immediate. That chained line, it just holds, like a cliff getting pounded by a storm. Every time a man falls, he drags another down with him. It creates these awful gaps in their line, but you can't even get through them. The fighting, it's just desperate, all hand to hand.
They're pushed to the absolute limit. You can see it. The thirst, the sun, this unbreakable wall of chained soldiers.
There's only one place left for them to turn, and so they turn to Allah. You can feel it, this desperate, heartfelt prayer for help, for deliverance, for just a sign.
And then something changes. The sky, which has been this merciless, clear blue all day, it starts to cloud over. A cool breeze starts to move through this stagnant, hot air. And then it happens. Rain. Rain starts to fall, but it's not falling on the Persians. It's falling just on the believers. You see them, quenching their thirst, the water cooling them down. You can literally see their strength returning. The ground under their feet gets firm, while the earth under the enemy turns to thick mud. The whole tide of the battle. It just turned.
Okay, to really grasp what happens next, you have to understand the character of these men. And this verse from the Quran, it just captures it perfectly. It's about this essential duality they have. On one hand, they're an unyielding, forceful power against their enemies. But on the other, there's this profound mercy and compassion they have for each other.
And this contrast is absolutely crucial. Take their commander, Khalid ibn al-Walid. I mean, we're talking about one of the greatest military generals in history. He's unrelenting, a tactical genius, completely firm when facing any enemy. And yet, this same man is just one part of this deep brotherhood, totally unified and humble. It's like they're lions on the battlefield, but back in the camp, they're just brothers.
So, the Battle of the Chains was won. But you have to realize, for these men, victory itself was never the final goal. Not at all. It wasn't the end of the story, it was just the beginning of a much bigger, much heavier responsibility. The military obstacle was gone. Now the real work began.
Their fighting's over. And now they face the real reason they came here in the first place, to deliver the message of Allah. And that, really, leaves you with this one final, heavy question. After all the noise, after the deafening sound of chains and swords finally goes silent, how in the world do you carry the immense weight of a message like that?